So good morning everyone and welcome back to the class on tribology. So if you remember in the last class we had started solving the problems on hydrostatic bearings, right? So we had started with the problem number 1. So this way the data is what I told you to note down, uh, right? So after this we had solved the value of supply pressure, which is nothing but P naught, and the value of flow rate. So we had calculated these two values. So now we were supposed to determine the power loss. So we have derived the equation for power loss due to friction, what is the rate of oil flow, as well as what is the pressure across the inlet within the oil valve. The same formulas here we are using to determine its numerical values. Okay, so this we had done in the last class already. Even Q was being done. So now we were supposed to determine the power loss due to friction. So if you remember the power loss equation, what we derived for friction is the same thing. So if you go and brush up back, so this was the equation what we derived for power loss due to friction. So the same equation is now being used to calculate the values. So this is the equation for power loss due to coefficient due to friction, and hence mu symbol is written here, P suffix mu, that represents the power loss due to friction. So the equation here for it is 0.062 into n dash into mu divided by 16h into d2 square minus d1 d2 d suffix 2 to the power of 4 minus d suffix 1 to the power of 4. So here you need to substitute the values. So 0.062 is an numerical constant value. So n dash whole square it is. So if only small n it is, that is showing you the speed in terms of RPM. If it is n dash, then you need to convert the given speed in terms of RPS. Means you need to divide the given speed divided by 60. So the shaft speed here is given as 720 RPM. This is n. If we are taking n dash, that has to be divided by 60 so that it converts into RPS. So if you divide 720 divided by 60, you get it as 12 RPS. So the same value is being written over here for n dash. Please don't forget that is n dash whole square. So kindly write here as 12 square into the viscosity of the lubricant. So if you go back to the question, you can see the viscosity of the lubricant is 29.3 centipoise. So divide that into Pascal second. So if you go back to the equation, it is 29.3 into 10 raised to power minus 3. So then divided by 16 is again a constant value. H is the oil film thickness. So you have to see in the question what is the value of H given. It is 0.15 mm. Convert that into meter. So it is 0.15 into 10 raised to the power minus 3 into, please open the bracket. What is the value of D2? In the question, if you go back, D2 is nothing but the shaft diameter. And hence, this is the value you have to write, 500 mm. It is in mm. Please convert that into meter. So it becomes 500 into 10 raised to minus 3, or it is 0.5 meter. So write 0.5 whole to the power 4 minus, again check what is the value of D1. So the value of D1 is nothing but the recess diameter. It is given in the question as 300 mm. Convert that into meter. It will be 0.3 or 300 into 10 to the power minus 3. And hence you will write in terms of meter. Don't forget to write to the power of 4. Please close the bracket over here, right? So once you substitute, you kindly calculate and let me know what is the answer you are getting. Be quick. Substitute all the values, calculate and let me know what is the value you are getting for power loss due to friction. Have you started calculating? So write the formula, substitute the values as per the given question. Calculate and let me know the answer, how much you are getting. You have to practice, or else at the time of examination and internals, you will face a difficulty. Kindly let me know and be quick. Are you people calculating it?
Ma'am, I got 5.92, ma'am.
Let me check. 5.93 kilowatt is the answer. If it is 92 also, it is fine. Okay, just write down what are the values you're getting. It could be 5.92, yeah, 93. It depends upon how much decimal you have taken, right? What about the others? How much you're getting? Rasik is getting 5.92. What about the others? Shiv, Pavan, Ashant, you're there? Okay, okay. If any different values,
Same,
kindly let me know.
same.
So this was the first numerical. So now similarly, we have to go for the second. So what is again? It is a problem on hydrostatic step bearing with the following details. So here also they have given you the diameter of the shaft, which is D2 in terms of mm. Please note down the question and the data. You have to solve it. Diameter of the shaft is given as D2, which is 153 mm. Kindly note down. And diameter of the pocket or the recess is one and the same. Don't get confused. D1 will be equal to 102 mm. If it is a vertical thrust load or vertical thrust on the bearing, if it is mentioned also, it is nothing but the load subjected on the hydrostatic bearing. So that will be W always, and it is given as 45 kilonewton. Kindly note it down. And here one thing you have to remember, the external pressure P1 is considered to be as 0. So this is a condition what you have to understand. P1, the external pressure is assumed to be 0 in this case. And then it is given that shaft speed is 900 rpm. So kindly convert that into rps later during your calculation, or you can calculate and keep it now also. So what you will do is you will divide 900 divided by 60. So you will get 15 rps. Kindly represent that as n dash. And then the viscosity of the lubricant is given as 24 centipoise. So kindly note down. Okay, then the oil film thickness is given as 0.13 mm. So what is the question being asked? They have asked you to determine the rate of flow and the power loss. So what is the equation for rate of flow? Can you people tell me? We have derived the equation, solved one numerical. You should be able to figure out what is the equation for rate of flow. Anyone can tell me? Hello. What is the equation for rate of flow? Are you people there? We have derived the equation for rate of flow, which is Q is equal to pi P naught H cube by 6 mu log of D2 by D1. Right? So this is the equation we usually use to determine the rate of flow. So this is as per the design data handbook also. So as per the derivation, what we did, it was R upon R naught. So as per the design data handbook, we converted in terms of D1 and D2. That I have told you during the time of derivation also. So to calculate rate of flow, you should be knowing the value of P naught, right? Which is initial supply of oil related to the pressure. So you can call that as initial or supply pressure. So you should be knowing the equation of P naught, because without P naught you cannot determine the value of Q. And hence you determine the value of P naught as equal to 8W log of d2 by d1 divided by pi into d2 square minus d1 square. So once you know the value of P naught, then only you can substitute here and determine the value of rate of flow. So now you have to substitute the values for P naught. So this is the equation. 8 is a constant value, you will write as it is. W is the load which is subjected on the hydrostatic bearing, and in the question it has been given as 45 kilonewton, right? So kindly substitute the value of 45 into 10 raised to power 3. So then log of you need d2 by d1. So d2 is nothing but the diameter of the shaft. So kindly convert 153 mm into meter. So it is 153 into 10 raised to minus 3, right? So, or directly you can write 0.153 divided by the diameter of the pocket or the recess. One and the same, it is d1. So it is also given in terms of 102 mm. Convert that into meters, it will be 0.102. So divided by, you have in the denominator pi, which is a constant value, write as it is. You know the value of d2 and d1. You have substituted already in the numerator. The same thing you will write here. It is d2 square. So you have to write 0.153 whole square minus d1 square it is. So you have to write 0.102 whole square. So now you have substituted the values. So now kindly calculate and let me know what is the supply pressure, which is P naught. Be quick, calculate and let me know the answer. Everyone has to calculate. It is not either Rasik, Baran or someone else. Everyone has to calculate. Please write down the equation, check what is the data being given, substitute it, convert that in terms of meters, don't forget, and then calculate and let me know what is the supply pressure we get. Once done, kindly let me know what is the answer you're getting. You should be fast, be quick.
Ma'am, 35.76 into 10 to the power 5, ma'am.
Into 10 to the power of 5 you have kept. Usually you should not keep in terms of 10 to the power of 5 because you should show it in megapascal or in Newton per meter square. So kindly type it as 3.572 into 10 raised to 6. Your answer is right. Only thing, one decimal you need to shift. So kindly write it down everyone as 3.572 into 10 raised to power 6 Newton per meter square. Or else you can even show the rate of flow in terms of megapascal. as 3.572 megapascal. Hope everyone have got the same answer. Gautam Sai, Shiv.
No, yes, ma'am.
Okay, Shiv Pavan, did you get?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So fine. So now we have got the value of P naught. So once you got the value of supply pressure, the thing which has been asked in the question is rate of flow. So you have to go back to the equation of rate of flow. You know the equation, it is pi P naught H cube divided by 6 mu into log of d2 by d1. So here you know all the data except P naught was unknown that we have determined. So now substitute every data which is available and then find the value of rate of flow. So pi is constant, you will write as it is. P naught we have determined now. So kindly do type it as 3.572 into 10 raised to power 6 into H. The oil film thickness is been given in the question as 0.13 mm. Convert that into meters. So it is 0.13 into 10 raised to minus 3 whole cube. Sometimes the children in hurry, they will forget to write whole cube. Wherever you have whole square, whole cube, kindly write it without fail. So then in the denominator, you see it is 6 is a constant, write it down as it is. And you need to know the viscosity of the lubricant, and it has been given as 24 centipoise. So we will convert that 24 into 10 raised to minus 3 into log of d2 by d1. So both the value of d2 and d1 is given as 153 mm and 102 mm. Convert that into terms of meters. So it is log of 0.153 is the d2 value divided by d1. d1 is 0.102. So please substitute, calculate, and let me know what is our answer for rate of flow.
Ma'am, 4.32 into 10 to the raise minus 4, ma'am.
4 point. Repeat
32,
again. Okay, into 10
4.32 to the 10 to the raise minus 4, ma'am.
minus 4. Okay, you're getting 4.32. Here it is being shown as 4.22. Just write down what you have.
2, 5.
What about others? You're getting 4.22 or 4.32?
4.2225.
Okay. Please write down the value what you have got. Okay, so it is 4.22 into 10 to the power of minus 4 meter cube per second. You can keep either in meter cube or millimeter cube. Okay, so based on that, you can show the conversion. So you don't write as 4.22, please write it as 4.32, whatever the answer you have got. So everyone kindly maintain the unit even though the answer is right. If you have missed the unit, you will lose marks for the unit. So kindly remember the unit for each value and write it down accordingly. So once the rate of flow is determined, next they have asked to determine the power loss due to friction. So we have derived the equation for power loss. I have told you repeatedly what is the equation. The same equation we need to use here again. It is 0.062 into n1 dash whole square into mu divided by 6h into d2 to the power of 4 minus d1 to the power of 4. So don't forget to Determine the value of D2 and D1 in terms of to the power of 4, or else the answer will be wrong. So once you have written the equation, kindly everyone write down the equation. So after writing down, you please substitute the values. So 0.062 is a constant value. You will write it as it is. Into, you have to see now the speed of the shaft. It has been given as 900 rpm, but we are converting it into rps, so it will be n dash 900 divided by 60, so you will get it as 15 rps. So same thing you will substitute over here, but it is n dash whole square. Kindly multiply into 15 whole square. So after that, we have the viscosity of the lubricant, which is given as 24 centipoise. If you want, you can check in the question. It is 24 centipoise. So kindly type that into, multiply into 10 raised to minus 3. So divided by, we have 16H. 16 is a constant, retain as it is. The oil film thickness is given as 0.13 mm. So please convert that into meter. So it is 0.13 into 10 raised to power minus 3. So one part is over. The other part, you have d2 to the power of 4 minus d1 to the power of 4. So you know the value of d2 and d1. You can cross check with the question. The diameter of the shaft, d2 is 153 mm, and the diameter of the pocket or the recess is d1, which is equal to 102 mm. So substitute both the values in terms of meters. So it will be 0.153 to the power of 4 minus 0.102 to the power of 4. So once it has been substituted, kindly do calculate and let me know what is the amount of power loss in the hydrostatic bearing due to friction.
0.0707.
Yeah. So it is 0.0707 kilowatts. It's not watt, it is kilowatt. So this is the answer you have to get. Hope all are getting this answers. Any other answer you are getting other than this? Is it the same? Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Same answer.
Okay, fine. So this was our problem number 2. So next, let us solve one more. So if we go for fourth one. So everywhere, remember, they ask you only 3 aspects. One is the supply pressure and the flow rate and the power loss. So there is no other means to be asked in the question. It will be a very simple problem. If you know the formula and derivation, you can either get the derivation or the numerical, or sometimes the both, because you have 2 parts. So in first part of the module 4, if you have any derivation being asked, then you might come across with a numerical here, or else one derivation with a small numerical. Anything could be given. So you have to be prepared for both. So based on the third numerical, so this you will solve and let me know. So this is a given question. So it is again a hydrostatic step bearing with the following specifications. Diameter of the shaft is given as 145 mm, which is our D2. Diameter of the pocket is D1, which is 105 mm. Vertical thrust on the bearing. It is nothing but the load in the direction normal, how it is acting. So it is 30 kilonewton. Here also the external pressure is assumed to be 0. And shaft speed is given in rpm, which is 1000. You need to divide that by 60 to get the value in terms of rps. Viscosity of the lubricant is less here. It is only 10 centipoise. And the oil film thickness is also less, is of 0.10 mm. So you need to determine 3 aspects here: oil inlet pressure, rate of flow through the bearing, and power loss. Sometimes they don't ask oil inlet pressure, which is nothing but the supply pressure. They'll directly ask rate of flow. So to determine the rate of flow, obviously you need to know the volume value of P naught. So whether they ask or not, by default you need to determine the value of P naught to know the value of rate of flow. So that you have to understand. So once that is done, you have to first determine the value of P naught. So you know the equation for P naught. What is the equation for P naught? Everyone write it down. Be quick, write the value of P naught. Oil inlet pressure or the supply pressure or the pressure of the oil in the inlet, both also are the same. So this is the equation what we usually follow. It is 8W into log of d2 by d1 divided by pi into d2 square minus d1 square. It has to come to your mouth regularly when you solve the problems. So you'll substitute. 8 is a constant. W is the load which has been acting, the vertical load. So what is being given in the question? It is 18 kilonewton. So you will write it as 18 into 10 raised to 3 into log of d2 by d1. So d2 is how much? Diameter of the shaft is 100 mm and diameter of the recess or the pocket is 50 mm. So substitute the value of d2 and d1 in terms of meter. Divided by again pi into d2 value is 0.1 whole square and d1 value is 0.05 whole square. So please substitute and let me know what is the value you get for supply pressure. Solve quickly and let me know the answer.
Ma'am, 19.85 into 10 to the raise minus plus 6, ma'am.
19 you're getting, is it?
42362035.
Into what?
10 power 6. Ma'am, 4.236 10 power 6 plus 6.
Yeah, so
Yeah, ma'am, 4.43.
I think you might have gone wrong in the beginning somewhere in the calculation.
Yeah, ma'am, I made mistake.
Yes. So see that everyone you need to get 4.236 into 10 raised to power 6 Newton per meter square. So it's better to keep in Newton per meter square only, as we need to substitute this entire value in the equation for rate of flow. So good, now we have got the right answer. So further we will go for the next part. So what is being asked? We were solving third problem, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
And for third problem, this is the answer what you have to get. Please
Ma'am,
check.
D2 is 100, ma'am.
Yeah.
We are
We
Hello.
were solving the fourth problem.
That's
we
what
were
I'm
solving fourth
asking.
problem.
That's what I'm telling. We were solving fourth problem. Okay. So this is the same data what you have taken, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So then the value of P naught what you have got is right. So after this, what is being asked in the question? So we have to determine the supply pressure, the flow rate of the lubricant. So there is no power loss being asked here. So you know the value of the equation for the flow rate. So please write down the equation for the flow rate. As we have derived, the equation is pi p naught h cube divided by 6 mu into log of d2 by d1. So all the data which are needed is available for substituting. P naught was unaware, so we have calculated that already. So the value of pi, you write it down. P naught is 4.236 into 10 raised to minus 6. We have calculated now. So substitute that value into H. So H is the oil film thickness which is given in the question as oil film thickness is 0.25 mm. So kindly substitute the value in the flow rate equation, but don't forget to write in terms of meter. So it is 0.25 into 10 raised to minus 3 whole cube. So once the numerator is written, so now come back to the denominator. 6 is a constant, you will retain as it is. Mu is nothing but the viscosity of the lubricant, right? So you will write the value which is directly given in Newton second per meter square. So you directly substitute this, okay? So Newton per meter square is nothing but Pascal. Pascal into second was the unit what we were using regularly. So it is given in direct way. So don't convert here the value of viscosity. Sometimes the student feel that it is 0.08 centipoise. Again, you will go to convert, right? So then you will end up with a wrong value. Please see the unit what has been given in the question. So it is directly Newton second per meter square. So it is nothing but Newton per meter square into second. So it is nothing but Pascal into second. So the value no need to be converted. So directly you write the value for the viscosity. Okay. So that is 0.08 into log of, now substitute the value of D2 and D1. See in the question the value of D1 and D2, how much it is. It is 100 mm and 50 mm. So kindly substitute the values in terms of meter. So D2 will be 0.1 and D1 will be 0.05 meters. So once this is done, kindly simplify and calculate and let me know what is the value you get for the flow rate. Do the calculation properly.
Ma'am, 1247.705.
How much you are getting?
Oh, got wrong.
Please calculate again, Others, please check. Take the log value properly. Numerator you calculate properly, then divide it. If you have forgotten to take whole cube, please see that. See that you have converted everything as per the required unit.
Ma'am, 6.24 into 10 to the raise minus 4, ma'am.
Got it? So what was the wrong previously? Whether it was you only or someone else had told me the answer before.
I told.
Someone else.
Okay, Shiv Pavan, did you get the right answer now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Kindly do calculate properly.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I hope now you have got hands-on in solving the problem related to hydrostatic bearing. So one more problem we will do it. so that this part of the module will be over. So yeah, for the other part of the module 4, we can start up from next week. So I hope this is the problem what we haven't done yet. The third problem.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So kindly take down the question. So it is again a hydrostatic step bearing with the specifications as mentioned below. You can take a snapshot or you can write down whichever is convenient to you all. So the diameter of the shaft is exactly, it's better if you write down the values directly. So diameter of the shaft is given as 145 mm. Always the diameter of the shaft will be D2, and if they give you as diameter of pocket or diameter of recess, it will be the same. So that value will be as D1. So D1 here is given as 105 mm. Diameter of the shaft is given as 145 mm. Please read the entire value with the units. In hurry, if you read half, then you will go wrong. Sometimes the viscosity value will be in centipoise and sometimes it will be in Pascal second. So be careful. So vertical thrust on bearing is nothing but the load subjected into the hydrostatic step bearing. So kindly treat that value as your W. So W will be nothing but 30 kilonewton. Here also the assumption is external pressure will be 0. So then the shaft speed is given here as 1000 RPM. So it's better to convert it into RPS. If you want to convert it into RPS, you have to divide 1000 divided by 60, right? So then you divide and see what is the value you get. So that value will be our N dash. Then viscosity of the lubricant, it is in centipoise. We will convert that into Pascal second by multiplying into 10 raised to minus 3. So then oil film thickness is given again in mm. It is 0.10 mm. Later we need to convert that into meters. So now again as usual you need to determine the three values. One is the oil inlet pressure, the rate of flow and the power loss. So first oil inlet pressure is nothing but the value of P naught what we need to determine. If they ask you as supply pressure also, it is one and the same. Don't get confused. So write down the equation for P naught. So you are aware enough the value, the equation, what do you have to write for P naught? So kindly do. Sorry, it went to problem number 3 again. I don't know. So please write down the equation. Please do calculate sincerely. Then only you get hands-on practice. P naught is equal to 8W into log of D2 by D1 divided by pi into D2 square minus D1 square. So again, 8 is a constant value you will retain as it is. If you go and check in the given question, W, which is the thrust load, is equal to 18 kilonewton. So please write the value of W as 18 into 10 raised to 3. Then multiply that into log of D2 by D1. So D2 is nothing but 100 mm diameter of the shaft. Convert that into meters.
Third problem, ma'am. This problem we already solved.
This one, D2. So D2 is 145 mm. So please convert that into meter. So what you get is 0.145. So divided by D1. So D1 is nothing but 105 mm. So again convert that into meters. So it will be 0.105. So divided by pi value is constant, right as it is. D2 square is nothing but your 0.145 whole square minus D1 square is nothing but 0.105 whole square. Don't forget to write the whole square part. So once you substitute, kindly do the calculation and let me know what is the value you get for supply pressure, which is also called as oil inlet pressure and represented by P naught.
2.46 into 10 power 6 Newton per meter square.
What about the others? Are you getting the same answer? Is it so? It is here, it is being shown as 2.47. You just write down what the value you have got. The variation in one digit will not happen anything. So instead of 2.47, you can write it as 2.46 into 10 raised to 6 to the 10 raised to 6 Newton per meter square. So once the value of P naught is got, you have to determine the rate of flow. So you know the equation for rate of flow. So what is the equation for rate of flow? As shown over here, it is pi P naught h cube divided by 6 mu into log of d2 by d1. So in this equation, we have calculated the value of P naught already. So other parameters are known. So you will just directly substitute and calculate what is rate of flow. So directly first you will write it as pi into P naught value. Please write down what you have calculated. It is 2.46 into 10 raised to 6, right? So write 2.46 into 10 raised to 6 into the oil film. What is oil film thickness here? 0.10 mm. So kindly do convert that into meters. So it is 0.10 into 10 raised to minus 3. It is whole cube. Don't forget, put this to the power of 3. So once the numerator part is done, in the denominator you have 6, which is a constant. Write down as it is. And the viscosity of the lubricant has been given as 10 centipoise. So we convert that into Pascal second. So it is 10 into 10 raised to minus 3 into log of d2 by d1. So d2 is nothing but the diameter of the shaft, which is given as 145 mm. Convert that into meters. So it will be 0.145 divided by d1 is nothing but the diameter of the recess or the pocket, which has been given in the question as 105 mm. Convert that again into meters. So it will be 0.105. So once you substitute, kindly do the calculation and please let me know what is the answer you are getting.
And 3.99 into 10 to the raised minus 4 mole.
3.99. Yeah. So here it is shown as 4.00. This variation will come because for us, the value of P naught, what we got was 2.46 instead of 2.47. And hence, write down the same value. What you told you, please let me know
3.9986.
Okay. So others also, did you get the same answer? Others, did you got the same answer? Subramanya?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so when I ask, you have to tell, no? Should I ask everyone individual name? Okay, so once the rate of flow equation has been written and solved, so next, what has been asked in the question? Power loss due to friction has to be determined. So write down the equation for the loss of power. Everyone, you know the equation. By this time, you might be familiar enough with the equation also. So power loss due to friction. Don't forget to write P suffix mu. Okay, so it will show you the power loss due to what means you are showing. So P suffix mu, let it be, so that it represents the loss of power due to friction. So after writing this parameter properly, so then write down the equation. So this is nothing but 0.062 into n dash whole square into mu divided by 16h. So this is one part. So other part is d2 to the power of 4 minus d1 to the power of 4. So now you have to substitute the values. So 0.062 is a constant. You will write it as it is. And speed of the shaft has been given in the question as 1000 RPM. So divide this 1000 by 60 to get the unit in terms of RPS. So if you go back here, here I have written 1000 by 6. It is not 6. Typo error. It is 60. 1000 divided by 60 whole square into the lubricant value. So it is 10 centipoise. In the question, if you go back, it is 10 centipoise. So we are converting that into Pascal second. So it is 10 into 10 raised to power of minus 3 divided by 16 into all film thickness. In the question, if we go back, it is 0.10 mm. So please convert that into meter. It is 0.1 into 10 raised to minus 3. One part is over. So the other part is the value of the diameter of the shaft. So the diameter of the shaft in the question, it was given 145 mm. So we will convert that into meter. It will be 0.145 meter whole to the power of 4 minus d1 is nothing but the diameter of the pocket or the diameter of the pocket or the recess. So if you go back to the question, it is given as 105 mm. So come back to the power loss equation, convert that into meter. It will become 0.105 meters. Then put this whole to the power of 4. So now kindly do calculate and let me know what is the value you get.
0.0344 ma'am, kilowatt.
Okay, let me check. I've just added 60 there. So 0.033 kilowatt.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is the value what you have to get. So I hope now it is clear for everyone to how to solve the problem on hydrostatic step bearing.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So any type of question which has been given, this only will be the datas which are given. Only the possible parameters what you can evaluate is only three: the power supply, the supply pressure, the rate of flow, as well as the power loss due to friction. So this is the other type of problems what you get related to hydrostatic. So we have done related to hydrodynamic bearings already for full journal bearing, right? So there the concept was little bit different. So there you had two varieties determining the power loss and other parameters of the journal bearing. And also we solved the problem on pressure distribution. Even you can get the graph to plot for distribution of pressure, wherein in case of hydrostatic, these are only the three parameters which will be coming. So this part will end up with the hydrostatic lubrication and bearing. Okay, so you can get to write a schematic sketch and explanation for hydrostatic bearing, or else they can ask you the derivation for load carrying capacity, the power loss due to friction, or the rate of flow of the oil derivation, or else they can give you the numericals. So these are the part of questions which usually come in common related to this module. So in next class, we will be focusing on plane slider bearing. So in that also you have load carrying capacity, derivation, the pressure distribution, as well as the power loss due to friction. But the way of approaching and the equation what we will be using will be a little bit different. So that we will be taking care in the next class, hopefully from Wednesday class. I hope your internals will be from 7th, I guess. If we go, yeah. So we'll get one more week. Let me see how much could be completed. So now everyone kindly do type your name and USN in the chat room. By the same time, I will call your attendance. Abdul Khalid Pasha. He is absent. If anyone have a problem with your mic, kindly do message me in the chat. Akhil KV,
Yes, ma'am.
Anil Kumar, I think is absent. Ankesh Aman,
Oh, ma'am, Anil had his patentability review.
yeah,
Yes.
he is in his patentability review, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll just put it out for him. Ankesh Aman,
Yes, ma'am.
Gautam Krishna,
Yes, ma'am.
Balaji VR.
Patentability, ma'am.
Okay. For those who are in patentability, inform that I have given them the attendance. If anyone in patentability, kindly let me know.
Yes.
Beldar Mohammed is absent. Chaitanya SR.
Patentability review.
Okay. Chetan Kumar.
Ma'am, even he is there.
Okay, I will cross check with the list later. Dheeraj.
Even he is in patentability review, ma'am.
Okay. Ishant.
Present, ma'am.
Harshit.
Ma'am, even he is in patentability review.
Okay. Himanka.
Same.
Okay. Kanishka. Kanishka is regularly irregular. Ask him to call me. Nagamurli Krishna.
Patentability.
Okay. Kunal Raj. Kunal is absent. Danush is absent forever. Mohammad Ayan, absent. Mohammad Junaid is also absent. Shri Prasad.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Niharika.
Yes, ma'am.
Nihar Venkat Sai.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Nikhil R.
Ma'am, patentability review.
Okay. Nirab is absent.
Ma'am, he is also in the review.
Also there. Okay. Prajwal S. Bhatt.
Present, ma'am.
Rishabh Pandey.
Ma'am, review.
Okay. Rohan Kaglakar is absent. Roshan Yadav.
Present.
Yeah. Sumant Sagar. Sumant is absent. Sagar Dutt Mathur. Is absent. Sagar GV.
Present, ma'am.
Sanjay Raghav. Absent. Shobit absent. Siddharth B. Absent. Siddharth Sridhar
Yes, ma'am.
present.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Subramanya.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Tirumana Sethi Rohan. I think he is absent. Ullas.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Why your attendance is very short, Ullas?
Ma'am?
Today's your attendance is only 20 on 32 classes. Kindly don't bunk any classes in future.
Yes, ma'am. I'll see.
Yeah. Vidyan Prakash.
Ma'am, review.
Okay. Varun.
Yes, ma'am.
Pavan.
Present, ma'am.
Danush. Danush is absent.
Present, ma'am.
Present? Okay.
Ma'am. Danush, I'm here, ma'am.
Yeah, I gave you the attendance. Dhyanesh? Dhyanesh is absent. Gunasagar? Gunasagar is absent. Meghanatha? Meghanatha is absent. Rasik?
Present, ma'am.
Okay. You also kindly see that you attend the classes regularly, okay, hereafter.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Shiv Krishna? Shiv Krishna is absent. Shreyas? Okay. Srinivasalu? Srinivasalu absent. Yogananda? Yogananda is absent. Kiran R? Kiran absent. Ranveer Singh? Ranveer is absent. Gautam Sai?
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Abdul Khalik Pasha is absent. Shiv Pavan?
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Alok?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, what is my attendance?
Alok?
Yes, ma'am. What is my attendance, ma'am?
Your attendance is 13 only until now, out of 32. Because
30
you have
out of
missed.
32.
No, 13, 1, 3. Out of 32 classes, you have.
I've attended more, ma'am.
No, you were not into the class at all until 8th of October. From then you came consistently for 6 classes. Then again you bunked 1, attended 2, then again bunked 3 classes. After that, again from 15th of November, you are attending continuously. So
Ma'am,
in
like
that,
2 or 3 classes I typed in the chat box because my mic wasn't working.
which was those 3 classes? Because I do ask and check the chat box also regularly.
I'm not sure, ma'am. I think it was 2 weeks back and one was recently.
One was recently. I have given it. I have given the attendance. If that is the case, it is just 14 on 32. It will be very difficult at the end. Please don't miss any classes. So later, let me clarify what about that 2 more classes where you have written in the chat, because I do compare later and tally, and then only I'll update in this. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Take care then. Have a good weekend. Prepare well for your project presentations. It will be asked for you people also very shortly. So let me meet again you people in the next week from Wednesday. So until then, take care. Have a nice day. Questions will be posted related to this modules for numericals. So see that you complete it at the earliest as per the due date which will be mentioned. Okay. Fine then. Take care. Have a nice day.
Ma'am, once again,
Yeah.
can you please check all those names who are in the patentability review and give them attendance if I have missed someone.
Yeah. I'll check. Anyhow, it has been displayed in the WhatsApp,
Mhm.
right?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
will just look into it again before
Yes.
finalization. Okay, Shan. Thank you. Bye bye.